Hey, welcome back. Derek Rydall here, founder of the Law of Emergence and author of the best-selling book Emergence, and now this powerful system of awakened wealth. And it's, again, so great to have you here. I can already just feel the energy of this community that's growing around these powerful principles. And I hope you enjoyed the first video. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, please do, and download the free ebook on the 5 Hypnotic Wealth Spells. I think it's going to blow your mind, open your heart, and lift your spirit like never before. It really helps you because we're building on something. Now, you can watch this video as a standalone, and I'm going to quickly recap some things here, but it will really serve you to watch that video. So what we covered in that was, first of all, the big promise. What's the big promise of Awakened Wealth? You know, we've all been taught and learned so many strategies and tactics to win friends and influence others and attract more clients or get more clients or grow our business or whatever. And there's all these strategies and tactics, and they're good. There's a lot of great ones that we're gonna talk about some of them. The problem is it gets us connected to always having to manipulate conditions, and if conditions go south, we're left holding the ball or holding the bag or holding the shoe or whatever the saying says. But when you understand Awakened Wealth and how to tap into not the resources, but the source within you, this big promise is that you are able to generate all of your needs abundantly, regardless of circumstances and conditions. How would you like to live a life like that? That's what's possible with Awakened Wealth, and we really dove into that in the first video, but of course this whole series is about helping you to do that. We also talked about the real nature of wealth, that it's not dollar bills and chickens and cabbages and kings. If you're wondering why I'm saying chickens, you gotta watch the first video if you haven't. But we realized that wealth is spiritual, it's invisible, it's energetic. We also realized where it is. It's not out there. It's not in the bank or the economy. It's within you. It's invisible like it is in the tree that gives off the fruit. It's an invisible activity that uses that invisible substance that makes all of creation. And we're gonna talk a lot more about to really help you anchor that idea about how everything is energy and why it's so important to understand this to create a flow of abundance in your life. And then we talked about, you know, putting all that together, kind of why the love of money is not the root of all evil. That when we understand that saying, we understand money is a symbol, and that it's really telling us the love of the symbols of wealth. When we love something, you become one with it, you become identified with it, you become attached to it. And then you do everything you can to keep it and hold on to it and not lose it. Well, if you think the dollar bill is money, is wealth rather, or that job, or that spouse, you're gonna start to do a lot of things to hold on to that symbol. And it often leads to compromising your own integrity and in many cases, destroying our lives. But that's not wealth. And ultimately, when you understand that, which we talked about in the first video, you're freed from that downward spiral, that failure pattern. And we talked about the great reversal, how everything is within you. That the world can't give you anything, it can't take anything away. Whatever's missing is what you're not generating. Whatever you're waiting for, you're waiting with, and often weighing it down. So this is the ultimate weight loss program. So you're no longer having to wait for anybody or anything to change before you can step into your dream and your destiny and generate the wealth and abundance that you need and want. And we talked about the big betrayal, which is that when you make anyone or anything outside of you your source, the universe is set up to fail you. And when you don't understand this principle, the universe can feel like an enemy, like it's against you at every turn. And when you understand it, the universe becomes your silent partner, and you get all of that support, all of that power, all of that substance to fulfill your life and your purpose. And then we went into the 5 Hypnotic Wealth Spells, which is, you know, helping you to begin to snap out of these illusions and delusions and distortions of separation, lack, and limitation that look and seem and feel so real that we are trapped in that box until we wake up from it. And I talked to you about how to begin to snap out of that. Now, in this video, we are going to now dive into how you begin to circulate that abundance. Now that you know where it is, what it is, it's within you, how do you start to get it out? How do you start to get that flow going? And we're talking about the 7 Wealth Activators, or the 7 gifts that give you everything. That's the framework for this. Then we're also going to talk about the 25 ways to manifest more. And this is a deceptively simple process that's going to actually help you to generate more thought energy, more fluent thinking, turn on that inner creative, innovative part of you so that you can start seeing that there are so many possibilities available to you. Right now, most of us have a myopic vision and our possibilities have been collapsed into 1 or 2 or 3, if any at all. And this is going to begin to help you open up the aperture of your awareness to see that there are so many channels, so many possibilities. And then we're going to talk about this open secret to long-term success. Now, one important thing to understand as we're beginning to see that wealth is not dollars and stuff, that there is a deeper, more core substance that is the very foundation and the substance of everything that we create in our life, and that it's within us. And we can call this energy. We're learning more and more how everything is energy, that all the stuff that looks solid to us is really just energy moving at different rates. Depending on the rate it's moving, it could be invisible, it could be gas, it could be liquid, it could be solid, but it's all energy just moving at different rates. And the more energy that flows, the more manifestation happens, okay? So I want you to get these fundamental ideas here, that more energy flow equals more abundance. And so conversely, less energy flow, less of this substance of life flowing through you and around you and to you, less of that blocks and stagnates. When the channels start to constrict and close down for the various reasons I've talked about, there's less and less energy flowing out of you until it's like a hose with a bunch of kinks in it, and there's all this pressure, but there's just barely a couple dribbles coming out. Your life has become stagnant, or some area of your life, and it becomes ultimately like a swamp where nothing can live, where not even the animals want to drink from it. And our life can become like that, or areas when we have made outside things our source, when we believe that wealth is material stuff, and we haven't learned to turn into this source and turn on this inner wealth machine and get this energy flowing, our life starts to stagnate. It starts to become like a swamp, and it becomes very difficult. You know, we got to bring in the pump and start pumping out all that stuff to get the flow going again. And we're going to talk about how to open up all those channels. But the key here is to understand it's all about flow. In fact, the word affluence, which is also a definition of a rich person, they're affluent, comes from the same word that means flow. Also, interestingly enough, current, which is the flow of water, is the same root as currency, which is money, right? So when we talk about affluence and currency, you start to see we're not talking about a material thing, we're talking about a flow. People that are affluent and that have lots of currency are people that have opened up in some way, shape, or form the channels of energy so that there's more flow. And the more flow, the stronger the current, the more the currency. The more the flow, the more the affluence. And it manifests as the abundance that your life needs. Now, one other quick thing to understand, we've misunderstood the definition of manifestation. Manifesting doesn't mean you make something out of nothing. Manifesting is making that which already is but is invisible, visible, tangible, by increasing the energy flow around it, by up-leveling the vibration of it. But it's already here. It's already here. It's like, you know, your favorite music is broadcasting right where you are, but it's not manifest until you change your frequency so that your frequency is in alignment with the frequency of that station. Once you are in integrity with that station, that music or that station manifests. You have a manifest station. And the music wasn't in the distance, it wasn't in the future, it was broadcasting right where you are, but it wasn't manifest until you came into vibrational alignment with it. That makes perfect sense, right? Well, your wealth and abundance is already broadcasting. And when you start to understand these principles and put the flow of life and expand the flow until your channels are wide open like a river rushing downhill without a boulder in sight, now you just begin to manifest abundance. It begins to, like the river that carves out the Grand Canyon, it begins to carve away in the world and remove the mountains. The water can literally take a mountain down. So those mountains that you're facing that seem so insurmountable, as you get this energy flowing and rushing out of you, which we're going to talk about how to do, it starts to take down the mountains, it starts to carve a path, it starts to unfold your deeper purpose and your greater potential. Is that exciting? Like, isn't that awesome? I mean, I really want you to, I don't want this just to wash over you. I want you to really let this sink in. Are you feeling the potential here, the power, the possibilities? Are you starting to see a light bulb go on? This is really, really powerful stuff.